Everyone, welcome to Nicole's Needlework. Today is Saturday, June 29th, and it's right around 11 a.m. I thought I'd just do a quick video to share what I've been working on. So I was working on the June challenge and I was doing okay. My main problem is remembering to set the timer when I start stitching and remembering to stop the timer when I stop stitching. So a lot of it is kind of guessing. Well, I think I worked 15 minutes on that time. But so my last video I was working on Anne Rayner, and I was just gonna do 24 minutes and I ended up doing 240 minutes, so 4 hours. And I actually got a lot of the border done. I actually messed up though, and had to do some frogging, but I am back on track now, and I got all of the outline of the border done. So I'm really happy I have all that done. And this is 40 count vintage light exemplar by Lakeside Linens, and I'm using a variety of silk threads, and I think I said I was going to link the conversion below, and I don't know if I did. I'll definitely do that this time. But these are all the silk threads I'm using. So yeah, I'm loving that. And this is a reproduction sampler from 1990. This was reproduced in 1990. So it's an older pattern, but it's by Threads Through Time. And yeah, I'm loving it. So I did that. So I finished the E in the challenge. Got the T, the W, the E, and then for N, it was Stacy Nash, and I was going to do Summer at Hollyberry Farm. I was going to work on that, and I ended up starting Mary Barr's sampler. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. And this was a kit I got through Country Sampler. It's not a conversion. It's just the called for colors, and this is pretty big. Yep. So I just worked on the border, and that much of the border took 4 hours. So 240 minutes on Mary Barr's, and I love it. These colors are so pretty. And they're all Weeks Dye Works. And this is Weeks Dye Works 36 count parchment. And I love the color. I'm really enjoying it. And this is Mary Barr's sampler, 1829. So that was for N. For T, I was going to work on Caroline Broomhead. And that was for the tree in the sampler. So I worked on quite a bit of the tree, and I love these big blocks of color, which you don't normally get in samplers. So it was kind of nice. And for this one, I'm also using a variety of silk threads. So I worked 240 minutes on that one. And then, so that was for tea. And then I kind of skipped. So I went down to U and decided to work on Sarah Casey Unwin. Ginger's right here. Cleaning her paws. I finally got the house filled in. Sorry for the wrinkles. And got started up on here on this section. This is the verse, and then up here is that pretty flower basket. Oh, for Caroline Broomhead, the linen is 36 count linear latte by R&R. And this isn't very modeled at all, but it's a beautiful color and I love it. So, and this is 36 count vintage pearled barley by Lakeside Linens. So I'm loving that. And then I went back up and I did Y, and for that I was going to work on this. And this, both of those I did 240 minutes, so 4 hours. And this one I just did 24 minutes. And I worked on finishing or filling in that little house. And that's all I did. But Y for Yellow Bird. And this is Bird's Eye View by Kathy Barrick. And then I was gonna do Quaker Family Register for F, and I ended up going back to Sarah Casey Unwin, and decided to just for the flowers in the design, because I was really wanting to focus on this. And Caroline Broomhead, so I decided to work another 240 minutes on this. And then for O, I was going to work on His Eyes on the Sparrow, but I decided to work on Caroline Broomhead, and I was trying to figure out O for this design to kind of incorporate it, and thought about Adam and Eve, so Old Testament. So that's the correlation I got from that. So I'm going to work another, I think I have, let's see, I have like 2 hours done on this one. Is it 2 hours? 2 hours done on one of these in an hour. So I'm going to, this weekend, I'm going to total up to 4 hours on both of these, and then I'll be done with my challenge. Oh, and then for R, I was going to do Frederick, because he's a red bird. Frederick by Kathy Barrick. But I decided to finish up that border, because I had frogged the border on Ann Rayner. So I did 24 minutes on Ann Rayner and did that instead. So I switched it up, and that's fine. I made it my own, but it did encourage me to stitch on different projects and to kind of stitch longer than I normally might have, to kind of get that time in. So it was fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the July challenge. I may try to just do the stitch 24 hours in a month. I think that's doable. I was kind of calculating, and it looks like I stitch on average about an hour and a half a day. That's what, an hour to an hour and a half a day. Ginger, let go. She's got the yarn. So I did work on, well, that shawl I talked about last time, the Exploration Station by Stephen West. I was looking at my yarn, and she's going crazy. Stop. She's attacking this yarn ball. So I was looking at my yarn, and I ended up ordering, let me take it out of the bag. So I ended up ordering this dark bluey green from Eat Sleep Knit. And while I was ordering that, I ended up ordering Farmhouse White. Sorry, it's sticking. Which is kind of a gray, blue, greenish tones to it. Because that's what the shawl I like, that's what the person used. Because my white was a little more yellow. And then this is the yarn I did have. The accent yarn. And I was going to use it with this. But this gray is a little purple. So I ended up ordering everything the girl used in her shawl. And this is Fallen Cloud. And it's a little more blue. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. Or when I go to Chicago, there's a couple of yarn shops in Chicago that are in walking distance to our hotel. I'm going to maybe go there. See, I like these three together. But then when you add in the green, I don't know. So, because dye lots change so much, I don't know. So I'm thinking of maybe seeing if I can find a different gray when I go to Chicago that will go with these three. And then using this for something else. It's really pretty, but it's more of a, it doesn't really have any green in it. So that's where I'm kind of stuck. So that's a wait project. So what I did do is I got out my chevron blanket. I may have shown this a while ago. And this is not a big blanket. It's actually, the pattern is a baby blanket, but I made it a little wider. So it's just kind of like a lap blanket. And this is a free pattern. I will link it below and put it in my show notes. But I'm using Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. It's a really soft cotton. Inexpensive, but soft. So I'm using 3 colors of that. And it's a lot of fun. And it's really soft. So. And I think that's it as far as what I've been working on. Oh, I did kit this up last time, but forgot to show it. Who knows when I'll actually start it. And it's Maria Selby Humphrey, 1831 by Blackbird Design. So it's this pattern. And I was thinking of using 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. I think the threads look really pretty on it. So future start one day. And substituted a couple of DMC, but very pretty. So. There's some more of the design. It's so pretty. That is a start in the future. I have plenty of whips, so 30 whips. I have hair in my mouth. I'm gonna work on getting some of these finished. I'm really trying to focus on those 2 samplers, Caroline Broomhead and Sarah Casey Unwin. And I really want to make a trip up to Stitch and Frame and get some things framed. So, well, I think that's it. So this is just a quick video, and I will talk to you guys probably in a few weeks.